thanks to Weimar, I was given a chance to dig deeper about the food that we do not eat, about food waste management. Hello guys! So I'm at Perth right now. Hi Peter.
Hey Vicky.
Hey!
Recycling bin. Recycling bin and the bin. The bin's for everything else. Recycling bin's for like cardboard or the plastics that can be recycled for other goods.
Whoa! Oh, I just saw the machine! You're still using labor.
So you also have a composting bin. You just put it all in this like big bin. You just put all your food scraps and stuff in there, but you have to make sure that the bottom is sealed, otherwise you might get, creatures also wanting a piece of the food. But you just water it down every day, and then the moisture will break it down for you, and it will naturally turn into something you can use on the garden. So that, as long as it takes, really. Depends on lots of factors like moisture in the air, how hot it is, if it's cold, how wet it is. It's good to wet it. Yeah, that will be really good to go on the garden, maybe in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah. I think composting is awesome. We have a compost here. I think it's a really great way to use things that would otherwise not be used at all. And you can put your food scraps in there, and then you get beautiful, rich stuff that you can put all over your pots and your gardens. It's very easy, and I think more people could do it if they just realized how easy it was, because it really doesn't require much effort.
Something interesting that we've done here at the ski lodge is we have got a worm farm, and that is like this whole farm of worms which you would normally find in the ground, but we put all of our compost, we put all of our food waste directly into the worm farm, and then they will eat through it in the middle of the night, and then we wake up and there's a really rich soil which we then put onto the garden, which we have here, which we then eat from the garden. So it's like this full circle going around and around. They eat all things except for garlic and onion and lemon. They don't like lemon. Everything else they're very happy to eat. Some of the juice from their yummy food. You can open the tap here, and then you have this really rich, delicious juice. Don't drink it yourself though, it's for the garden. You put it on the garden and it helps everything grow like much better. So that's what we do every week. To the outdoor garden, we have here some capsicum. Almost ready to come actually, almost ready. Can you see? Beautiful, delicious capsicum. This is an eggplant, doesn't look very... Normally gets much bigger than that, but delicious chilies.
A lot of food.
No chilies. They're not as hot as I had hoped, but they're still quite tasty. This is rocket, which has rocketed and exploded. It's everywhere. We have rocket all the time. We're here, basil. Delicious. Very good. This is the Thai basil, which is very similar. Potatoes here. Magnifique. Always good to add on top of your fresh made dinners or breakfasts, a bit of fresh herbs. When you go shopping, bring your own bags with you that you can fill up instead of using the plastic bags all the time.
Little things like making multiple trips to the supermarket instead of making one big trip and getting all your vegetables then can help, because I think what happens is because we store everything in the fridge, we forget what we have, and so you just chuck everything in there forgetting there's a bag of carrot. That's when we really have a lot of food waste. It's usually the fresh food. You could even set aside a day on a Sunday to use all the extra stuff that you have in your fridge that maybe you forgot about. Another way to approach that as well is meal planning. So people, when you sit down and go, this is what I'm going to make for the week, and then that means that you have allocated your vegetables to a particular purpose instead of just going and getting a whole bunch of different things hoping you'll make something with it. You actually have a purpose for it. It'd be preferable to try and cook as close to as what you'll eat as you can.
It's good. I mean, I guess something interesting to think about is how much energy does the machine use to make the powder, because nature will do it naturally. It just takes a little bit more time. So that's just something to think about, I guess. But yeah, if there's a machine that does it for you, then that's a great idea. Maybe you could even have like a bigger machine that everyone can contribute to. Yeah, and you like share the machine. Community area, yeah.
I think it's an interesting concept. I think it depends. I think for me, what we have with the compost bin works fine, so I wouldn't even think to get a machine. But I think some of the schools I work with use those machines, because one of the schools I work with doesn't have any land, it's just a building. And so it's perfect for them because they just plug it in, they check all their food waste. And so I think it's a really great solution for people with limited space. Yeah, so I think it has a lot of potential in that area.
I think one thing that we can all do now is research ourselves, like do some learning about what your local area government is already doing or what the people in your community are already doing. Like go find other people who are already making, you know, these decisions in their lives and go meet them. Go spend some time with them because yeah, it can be lots of fun. Go meet other sustainable people.
I think it starts with awareness. I think that's the first step, just being conscious of what you're eating, how much food you're leaving on your plate whenever you finish eating, because I think that's part of it as well, is we tend to throw things on our plate not even thinking that we can eat it all. As a society, that will go a long way, just being aware of that.
A wet trampoline. Woo!